Hello everyone, my name is Danielle and I'm a language and culture expert. Today's video is for anybody who is a new teacher. So maybe you just got offered your first teaching job, congrats, or maybe you have been working somewhere and you haven't been teaching and then suddenly you have a teaching component added to your job and you're feeling like, what am I supposed to do? So if that sounds like you, this video is for you. The reason I want to make this video is because I know a lot of people, when they first get started teaching, they have all kinds of ideas, they're really excited, but they're also nervous. Because most people who do teaching, they want to do a good job. They want their students to learn a lot and they want to be very effective. However, they can get pretty overwhelmed pretty quickly with all the ideas running through their minds. And the truth is, there is a ton that you can learn about teaching. It is a true profession, it is a true career, and it is something that you can spend your entire career or your entire life studying to try to get better at. So don't feel like you have to do everything all at once out the gate. You have plenty of time to develop your skills. So today I want to focus on 3 areas. The reason I'll give you 3 is I want to make it manageable for you when you're getting started. Instead of like, oh my God, like everything in the kitchen sink, let's give you 3 things that you're like, okay, if I do these 3 things well, I can at least do a pretty good job right away. And also know that no one's expecting you to be as good as like the 15-year seasoned teacher on your first day. The first year, honestly, you're gonna be learning the ropes. I know a lot of people do go to university and they get a degree in education or they get a certificate to be able to teach. That's great. However, some people don't do that. Actually, I think most people don't have any kind of certification in teaching or any kind of teaching training who end up in some sort of teaching role. So don't feel like you're inadequate in any way. We've all gone to school for many years and we have tons of role models of teachers. So if you don't have any training under your belt, just think about somebody who you really liked as a teacher and think about what made them good and use that as your role model as you're getting started. Okay, so now to the 3 things. I will focus on preparation, observation, and relaxation. So in preparation, we're talking about coming to class prepared. In observation, we're talking about paying attention and being present in the room. And third, relaxation, we're talking about how you're feeling so you're ready and equipped in your own body and mind to do a great job when you're teaching. So first, preparation. Obviously, you want to come to class prepared, just like how you would expect your students to come to class prepared. So for you, that means having a solid lesson plan. A solid lesson plan, very simply, will state what you're going to teach, how you're going to teach it, and then you will recap it at the end and check for understanding. It can be that simple. So the reason you want to keep it super simple, especially in the beginning, is it's an easy win for you and it's an easy win for your students. If you keep it easy for yourself, it's very simple for you to be able to communicate what you need to communicate. And that makes it especially easy for your students to understand what you're trying to teach them. It leaves plenty of space and time for questions and elaborating or extending on an idea, that sort of thing. So try to keep it really simple. Also, if you need any materials or equipment, make sure you have it ready. For example, if you need worksheets, make sure they're printed and ready to go. Have some extras just in case, that sort of thing. If you're using any kind of equipment, especially technology, do a test run to make sure you understand how to use everything without needing to call somebody in to help you figure it out, because that will use up a lot of time. So again, have the solid lesson plan, do a run through with any equipment that you have, and have any materials that you need well prepared and ready to go. The second thing we'll do or talk about is observation. So what I mean by this is being present in the room and being able to focus on the class. You already know what you're going to teach them, so use more of your energy in the moment to focus on the students. Through observation, you will learn all kinds of things about their personalities, how they learn, what works for them, what doesn't work for them. I personally like to think of myself as like an anthropologist, and the students are my, culture that I'm studying. You might like to think of yourself as a psychologist who's getting to know your students' personalities and their characters, that sort of thing. You can use whatever analogy you like that works for you. The idea is it has to get you in the mindset of observing. Now, immediately, you might pick up on a few things, but the reality is it will take some time to really solidify your observations and draw any conclusions about your students and your classes. So what you can do is take some notes in between classes or a journal after school about what worked well, what you think didn't work so well, and any specific personalities or classroom dynamics that you want to pay more attention to and that you think might be affecting how people are learning and how the class functions. Because later you can use those observations you've made to perhaps rearrange the desks in the room or group students together in a certain way, or set up your lesson plans in a certain way, or use certain teaching techniques that you think are going to connect to them better. That's a more advanced topic, but at least for now, do the observation and record some notes so that way you can use what you're learning from your students to help with your teaching later. The third thing I would do is relaxation. So most people, when they start a new job, they're pretty excited and they have all these ideas and they're thinking, and they're very preoccupied with the work. And that can be good in terms of having a lot of energy to put into it. However, we still want to have some balance in our life. So make sure that if you have hobbies, you stick with them even as you start this new job. If you don't have any hobbies, I would say get one or two. So that way you have balance in your life and not everything is about teaching. Personally, I find that my hobbies end up informing the work that I do. So if I have an interest outside of work and as I pursue that hobby and I learn things there, it gives me ideas that I can apply to my work. So even if you're like super hyper focused on your job, realize that you will bring that energy to your hobby and the hobby will inform the work you want to do. So I think you're going to end up winning either way if you've got a hobby going on. And that way also, if you're more relaxed, once you come into the room, that'll translate to your students. They will pick up on that pretty quickly and they will respect a teacher who has a more relaxed presence with them. So again, I want to recap. We want to be well prepared with a solid lesson plan, and we want to make sure that we have all the materials we need and that our equipment works and we know how to use it. Second, we want to observe our students in the room so we can learn about them, so we can use that information later to help us better create better classes for our students. And then third, we want to work on our own relaxation. So that way, when we're actually in the room teaching, we are present and focused and we're capable of doing an excellent job for the students. So I hope those 3 ideas were helpful for you. If you liked the video, you can hit the like button. Please leave some comments about what you like to do to prepare for your lessons. If you're a new teacher, what are things that are on your mind that you're thinking about, that you have questions about? If you've tried any of these tips, let me know how they went. And then third, if you liked this and you'd like to see more tips like this and also more information about language and culture, you can subscribe to the channel to get notified every time I post a new video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.